Feday.email, you don't need to compromise faith to participate in the modern world. Instead of pushing ads and invasive practices that conflict with Catholic values, we built Feday to reclaim technology for Christendom. When you use Feday.email, you declare your commitment to technology that defends Christian tradition. Join Feday.email today and use technology to advance Christendom.
It's June. The secular world is celebrating its liturgical holy season. Rather, its liturgical unholy season. There's a certain sin that Father James Martin, F.J., has such an unholy interest in for a priest. It is bizarre how much interest he has in it, to the point where he's dedicated his entire mission as a priest to getting the church to lighten up and get with the times on that certain sin that Scripture tells us inherently cries out to heaven for justice or vengeance, depending on your translation. Father Martin F.J. has gone so far as to say publicly he believes the church got it wrong, or that St. Paul got it wrong, and that the Scripture got it wrong on that sin that he's got that weird interest in for a priest, meaning he's a formal, manifest public heretic. Because if you say that the church got something wrong on something as basic as morality, then what are we doing? What's the point of being Catholic if you can't trust the church to teach you basic morality? As opposed to, of course, not trusting particular prelates or bishops who are themselves immoral and who should never have been in the offices that they hold in the first place. Fundamentally different claim here. But it's the secular world's liturgical season of unholiness and depravity. And we've already seen a lot of things happening. Major League Baseball has done their annual virtue signaling on this subject, as have other organizations, and I may go over some of those. But as this is a Catholic podcast and a Catholic channel, I thought I would bring your attention to this unfortunate event. We go here to LifeSite News for this astonishing headline. Notre Dame's celebration of the unholy liturgical month eclipses its legacy of devotion to the Sacred Heart. This June, Notre Dame faces a choice once again. Will it continue to follow the path of secular affirmation, or will it remember its roots in the heart of Christ? Published just a few days ago, May 26, 2025. Notre Dame University is like Exhibit A for all of those who worry that their Catholic university that they're going to attend or that their children are going to attend is not actually Catholic. Notre Dame is a problem because it is so thoroughly secular. And if you look at the history of Notre Dame in the post-conciliar era, you can find actually that priests at Notre Dame, high-profile ones, including former university presidents, were key in the seamless garment argument. The sacrifice to Moloch was just one issue among many. We want to be Catholic as we define it, not Catholic as the church defines it. A whole host of problems. The Land O'Lakes Statement, Notre Dame was key in that. The Land O'Lakes Statement was something issued in the 1960s that Notre Dame and several other universities signed a letter to the Holy See declaring essentially their independence, that they were going to teach whatever it was they wanted to teach, and it doesn't matter what the church had to say on it. And that has led to the secularization of all too many Catholic universities. There are plenty of Catholic universities now that when people mention their name, we know them because of their sports programs and not their Catholicity. And you might be forgiven that if it was a non-Catholic new, say Gonzaga, for being a sports school, but didn't know anything about its Catholicity. But when Catholics have that same response, it's a problem. So this is, we go to the article here because it's that time of year again. Prayers for everybody, your students, your relatives, and yes, the staff at Notre Dame and its leadership. They all make the right decision this year. In this bulletin, we draw attention to Notre Dame's troubling observance of the redacted month over the past 4 years, a stark contrast to its Catholic foundation. We invite you to stand with us in reclaiming the month of June in honor of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And as part of this effort, we encourage you to participate in our Sacred Heart Novena, which will take place from June 19th to the 27th, 2025. Link to this at the show notes at returntotradition.org. We also remind you that our annual breakfast is fast approaching, yada, yada, yada. Here are some examples. University of Notre Dame, 1st of June last year. This month, in keeping with our Catholic character, we seek to build a community in which all students are welcome, feel a sense of belonging, can flourish on campus in our Notre Dame family. To all members of the James Martin crowd, including our own students, alumni, faculty, and staff, we're glad you're here. For more resource support, and follow their resource center for that. And notice the responses here. This is from Facebook. It's a screen cap from Facebook. A year ago, 2.9 thousand responses, overwhelmingly approved of by Catholics. The research shows that Catholics overwhelmingly do not agree with the church's teaching of morality on this, as well as on contraception and a bunch of other things. Continue with the article. For the past 4 years, the University of Notre Dame has embraced June as the secular unholy month, offering a wide range of events, resources, and affirmations in celebration of the James Martin identity and experience. Gone is any institutional recognition of June as the month of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, a devotion at the very heart of the Catholic tradition and foundational to Notre Dame's own identity and historical ties with the Congregation of Holy Cross. With June only a week away, we await confirmation whether for our 5th year Notre Dame will celebrate the event at the expense of the Sacred Heart. This secular unholy month has become a modern phenomenon championed by secular culture and celebrated in cities worldwide. In higher education, there's a campus index measuring it, now lists over 400 colleges affirming the James Martin inclusivity, including more than half of the Jesuit Catholic universities in the U.S. and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's participation not only aligns it with the secular trend, but sets it in opposition to the church's teachings on chastity, the family, and the anthropology of the person as created male and female. In spite of the dramatic misalignment with Catholic teaching and tradition, Notre Dame has expanded its observance of the unholy month each year since 2021 through campus-wide programming, community events, and social media content that celebrates and promotes James Martin's favorite types and experience. And then it gives you a lot of examples of how they did this. It's Notre Dame, the highest profile Catholic university in the country. If you can name a higher profile Catholic university in the country, in the United States, please let me know. I'd be very interested in what you would have to say. Maybe you might say Georgetown. Again, many people don't know that that one's Catholic or was supposed to be. Or Gonzaga or these others. But Notre Dame is like the highest profile Catholic one, and it's the one that people most associate with Catholicism. And they have no idea that they turned their back on the faith. I'm curious if you are surprised by this, that Notre Dame would be kind of at the head of the pack on this stuff. And are you like me? You'll wait with bated breath to see if Pastor Jimmy Martin of the Jesuit Church releases any kind of affirmation from Rome for his work on the subject, because he does so every year. It'll be fascinating to see what happens now. But let me know what you think about this. And if you have anybody you know at Notre Dame, let me know, or maybe in an email if you need to, what the situation is there with this. Let me know in the comments, please. Like and subscribe if you haven't. It certainly helps. So sharing this on social media, that helps too. And if you appreciate the work we do here at Return to Tradition, consider supporting the work we do here through Patreon, Subscribestar, that join button below, all those options asked for by supporters of the channel. We ask for more options and always give them. It does help keep the daily work going. And as always, pray for the church and pray for the Pope. I'm Anthony Stine. Ave Maria.